Hello, welcome to Handmade by Julia Quinn and my Facebook Live this afternoon featuring the He's the Man suite and a project using masking paper to make these gorgeous coloured stripes. The He's the Man suite, or He's All That stamp set, has lots of great images for lots of different occasions. My absolute favourite is a compass rose, but I always love a compass rose. And in my card today I've used this compass rose number 1 and the little picture frame corners. But it has lots of great greetings in it, and you can add all sorts of extras if you're making this card to make your card specific to the receiver. And it also has, coordinating with it, the All That dies, and I'm using the circle one and these two awesome textural elements to create the lovely popped up images on my card. But the main focus of my card today is using masking paper. Now I'll just grab my kit out here. Make sure I've got everything out of my little envelope. So my card base is mint macaron, just a standard card, and I'm using the He's the Man Designer Series paper for the inside and the front of my card. And also I'm using Very Vanilla cardstock, the same size for inside and the front of my card. I'll leave them out. This is my spare bit of cardstock for my stamping. And then these things here, let me put this aside, is I've cut up strips of our masking tape. This is how the masking tape comes. It comes in 12, masking paper, I beg your pardon, masking paper. It comes in 12 sheets, and I'll just show you what it's like. So it comes in these 12 sheets, and if you can see there's one side has a divided backing on it so that you can take the backing off. And so when I cut these ones out, I tried to very carefully cut them so that I had the separated backing on the paper. Okay, so I'm going to start laying down my masking paper, starting from the bottom onto my card, creating some masks. Okay, there's my backing paper on this one. I'm going to put my next one exactly right on, butt them up next to each other. Okay, and then my next piece, a wider one, butt that right up against my previous one. Hopefully there's no gap there. One more piece here. There's my join there. So I've cut these pieces exactly the same width as my piece of cardstock that I'm using for the front of my card, and then in varying, same length I mean, and in varying widths so that my stripes have different widths to them. Okay, so, and this one's just a little bit bigger to make sure I covered up my whole piece of card. Oh. The good thing about this masking paper is quite tacky, like a post-it note, but you're able to lift it up quite easily. I'll just get rid of all my rubbish and bring in a bit of scratch paper behind my image. So now what I'm going to do is peel off each of my bits of masking paper one at a time. So I've just taken that one off very carefully. I'm going to put that there because I'll use that later. And the first colour I'll use is Crumb Cake for the bottom of my card here. And let me put you over there. My Crumb Cake blending brush, and just ink up my brush and add the colour. Now Crumb Cake is a very quiet colour, so it does require quite a few layers to create your lovely lovely filled in tone of stripes. Okay, so, and a bit more. I think that might be enough of my crumb cake. Okay, so that's my first stripe of colour laid down. Now I'm going to add this masking paper back over the top again. Oh, nope. And it doesn't like sticking back on the ink very much, but it will stay there. All right, and then peel off my next stripe. Very carefully, so the masking paper comes off the cardstock very easily and lovely. And my next stripe is going to be mint macaron, which is the same colour as my cardstock. So ink up my blending brush and add ink all over there and build up my colour to the depth of colour that I want. Bit more. My poor old ink pad probably needs re-inking. This was a class card we did last week, learning lots of different techniques with the masking paper, and so we copped a bit of a workout. Hi Lynette, lovely to see you today. One day I'm going to be able to set up my system so that I can see people as they comment, but at the moment I only have my phone, which is above my eye line, and I have to actually put my head up above near the tripod to see if I have any comment. So if you're here and I haven't said hello, please accept my apologies and forgive me for not saying hello. Here we go, and there's my last stripe, keeping my little bit of masking paper down there. I'm going to use for this one Pale Papaya, my Pale Papaya brush and ink, and I actually don't need this one again because this is the last colour I'm going to do. And add my Pale Papaya ink onto my Very Vanilla cardstock. Add lots of depth and colour. I love this colour, so beautiful. And a little bit more there. There we go. I think that's quite enough. Okay, so that's all of my colouring. Now I can take off all of my masking paper and reveal the striped piece of cardstock that I have prepared, for my project. I'm making a hash of this one, aren't I? After telling you all how easy it was. Just pulling it back gently, gently. There we go. And last one, the one at the top. And there we go, there's my striped piece with a couple of little flaws in it, but it's handmade. While I'm doing my stamping, and I've got my stamping mat here, I'll just stamp the other parts of my project to show you before I put that away. Okay, now I'm going to stamp this lovely compass rose twice. Once I'm going to die cut using that lovely die from the All That dies. Here it is here. So it fits around it just beautifully. And then I'm going to stamp it again, and that time I'm going to fussy cut it. And then my number 1, which I will also fussy cut out. Okay, I'll just clean off my stamps here and here, and I need that one again. Pop that aside, and I will stamp my corner mount on both. Whoops, that was a bit crooked. Both corners. Trying to not get my head in front of you. There we go. That's a bit better. And then the same on my inside panel for the inside of my card. And also for the inside of my card, I want to add this compass rose again, but I don't want all the words on it because I've already got that on the front of the card. So for the inside of my card, I'm going to use my marker, an earlier as the ink pad, and colour the compass rose and not add any colour to those words, using the brush tip, the side of the brush tip end of my Stampin' Write marker. Now you can't do this technique with stamping blends because they're alcohol based and they dry too quickly for you to be able to do this. But because our Stampin' Write markers are water based, this is a fun technique to do, to be able to just stamp the parts of the stamp that you want. Now I'm just going to re-moisten that a little by huffing, and then I'll stamp that in the bottom corner down there. And there you go, I've got my compass rose stamped but no words on it. Alright, I think that's all the stamping I've done. Now I'll just, actually I might just start putting some of this together, and then I'll do the die cutting to finish off the, so just a little bit of designer series paper there, and then some also for the inside of my card. There we go. And my piece for the inside of my card where you can write to your recipient, and also, as I said, there are some great little greetings inside the stamp set that you could also stamp there. Okay, I'll leave that aside. Now I'll do the die cutting, and I'm going to use these great little images from the All That dies to cut those out, and I'm going to cut out these. So use the little dude today, the mini Stamp Cut and Emboss machine, because it's perfect for this little job. Okay, pop my little scalloped circle around. Just move away from everything so I don't keep bumping into it. There we go, there's that one. All done. And then just push this through. I'll die cut these two gorgeous shapes. I don't know, this is exactly the right, just the right width here, so hopefully it works okay for you. I didn't test this, so there might be some trimming in my future if it shaves the side of it. There we go. There we go. How did we do? Not too bad. Alright. Now, when you pop these out, it pops out the whole shape. And then this bit just easily pops out as well. Along with the little coloured pieces inside. And when we put that back on our card, we'll mount this up onto mini dimensionals, and I think it looks really cool. Really fun and a bit more textured on the design. So there we go, there's that one. And then this one. Put that over there. Pop out all the little bits in the centre. Here we go, there's that one. Just get rid of all my excess pieces here. Okay, now I'll stamp that onto my card flat like that. There we are. And then these guys, whoops, we'll add some mini dimensionals to the backs of them. That fit exactly into those little parts of the argyle pattern. Okay, and fit that back exactly where it was on the card, but it'll be floating a little bit above our other pieces as we put them onto the card. Now I forgot to do this before the video started. Actually, it got to be 2 o'clock before I realized, whoops, I was going to do a video, that normally I would fussy cut before I came on so that you didn't have to watch me fussy cutting. But I'm just going to fussy cut around both of these circles. Ready to add to the front of my card to create that lovely and this one. Oh, sorry if I put my head in front of you, I apologise. Just cut right around. I did look at getting some, going through my, we don't have any, I don't have any circle dies that are exactly that size. I did look at going through my circle dies, but then I thought, oh, it's just as easy to cut. There's a lovely line. I know cutting circles can be a bit tricky. Okay, but the way that we put this card together, it actually looks quite fine. Now I've done this in reverse to the way I did the original. Didn't even look at that. Alright, I'll add my circle there. And then these two on dimensionals. This one. Get some bigger dimensionals for this big one. 1, 2, 3. Add this large. Make sure the words are up the right way for this one. Underneath both of them, and so that we can still see Every Day With You is Another Adventure. And then my number 1 up the top. And the last thing is another wonderful accessory that's in the He's the Man suite, and there's these rustic metallic dots that are so, I just think they add a really lovely finish to the project. One and a small one to finish off. There we go. There's a masculine project for you using the He's the Man suite. Also a great technique using the masking paper and our stamping blends. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope you're inspired to have a go using our masking paper. Bye bye now.